Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Really excited. We leave next Wednesday for the Tennessee Knockout. Today is Friday, and this is Jared Fortner's bike. We got to get it ready for the Knockout. True Jared Fortner fashion, this is how she rolled off the track from the last race. I love it. We wouldn't have it any other way. He's on a conference call. Once he's done, he's going to come help me. So what we got to do to this thing is get a TKO makeover. You can tell the fork seals are blowing on this thing, so we got to do new fork seals in this thing. His shifter is bent and totally out of whack over here. We got to do new tires for sure. We got those new Dunlop AT81, those gummies. So we're going to try those at the Knockout. I got 6 of them here for him and his brother. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to steam clean this thing. Let's see if it runs. It's like a perfect brown color. It's not even like muddy. It's just like he rode it through a creek or something. Dang, this thing's fire. So some history on this bike is this was an actual factory beta Hard Enduro bike. Like this is right out of their race department. It was shipped to us for his brother Drew. Drew is factory trials, or he has been in the past with beta. So beta had Drew do some Hard Enduros. So I think we took him to Texas, Michigan, and Iowa. So Drew did 3 Hard Enduros on this bike 2 years ago. And we've kept it around the shop. Beta let me keep it. Well, I paid for it, but it was cool. And then Jared ended up with it. So I didn't want it to go anywhere. I wanted it to stay close because it is decked out. Like it's got everything Hard Enduro, cooling fan, tank, kicker, all the stuff that we would want to go do a race like we're gonna head to. So blowing some mud off the bottom of the fender here. So we're gonna steam clean this thing and then we're gonna get it ready for the Knockout. So TKO makeover will start now. Check this out. I just popped Jared's air box off and the ECU's been kind of flopping around in here. No big deal, but this little guy belongs up in the top of there. So we're washing the bike, I should say. And so we're gonna slide our wash cover in here. If you guys don't have one of these, you need to call me. These wash covers are super cheap and it keeps your air box from getting any mud inside of the intake. So now I can we'll put the cover back on to steam clean it, but I can wash it, and when we're done, we're gonna get that sucker stuck back up there. It does clip on, but I'll probably throw a zip tie on there because obviously it's failed once. So we'll get that zip tied to the top. So let's start steam cleaning this thing. So one of the most important things to make your steam cleaner work is actually turning the water on. So we should have some water. Oh yeah, look at that. That's as good as it gets. No, I'm kidding. Hold on. So we'll fire this thing up. All right guys, she's all steam cleaned and now I'm gonna dry it. We got this really cool tool here at the shop. I love to use this thing. It blows warm air at this thing. So there's 2 different levels. There's low and high. There's low and then high. But it was so sick. All right guys, we're getting closer. So we got the bike cleaned. It's inside. Jared's doing a new tire, the AT81, the gummy. It's pretty cool. And I've got 1 fork rebuilt now. This one was not leaking, so it brought more oil out. So we're gonna put new fork seals on this for Jared. And then next thing is brake pad, shifter. And we got it's funny, like when Beta put the cooling fan kit on that bike, they didn't plan on using a larger gas tank. And so they mounted it kind of weird on the radiator. So we had to actually move the mount to work with the bigger gas tank, it is what it is. So we got that on there. So the cooling fan is back on. Cooling fans are super important for the Hard Enduros. So I'm gonna get these forks finished rebuild and we'll go from there. All right guys, here you go. We've got Jared's finished bike. Last time you saw me, I was rebuilding the forks. The shop got so busy, I didn't really have time to film anything. But I went ahead and I polished this pipe for him too. I always use that Mother's on here. It's that Mother's aluminum stuff. It works so good. His pipe was pretty beat up and starting to really get bad. So it's kind of nice to cover that up for him to get it back cleaned again. And we did a new AT81, the gummy. I really recommend these. It's the AT81EX by actual name. The guys have been practicing with these down in the gorge and they love them. So Mark is so excited about that new rear tire. So we put one on Jared's bike as well. We did the gearbox oil for him. We flushed his coolant, so it's got brand new coolant in it. And we did a brand new radiator cap. So Jared was out back testing it. We also messed with the jetting on this a little bit too. So I was actually inside on the phone with customers when the guys wrapped that up. But I know we did take his needle. I helped with that. We raised the clip one, so it was in the middle. So now it's second down from the top, fourth up from the bottom. There's 5 positions. So we lowered the clip, or we lowered the needle, raised the clip. They went one size smaller on the Pilot Jet. And we took his fan and we took it from off the sensor and we put it onto a switch on the handlebar. In the Hard Enduro situation, sometimes we want to control that fan sooner. So if he's riding down the trail and he comes up to a bottleneck sooner, he can flick that on right away and keep that bike cooler. So that's what we like to do with that. We put a separate handlebar switch on here so he can control it there. And that's why the sensor just for this weekend is going to be left blank. We did a brand new chain and sprockets, so you can see on here a little bit gummy because we did that jetting out back, of course. So a little bit dirty already. We did a brand new shifter for him. So Jared always wears these things out pretty quick, which is funny. Brand new air filter inside of there. So pretty excited for Jared. I went through the whole bike. We cleaned it up good for him. We took his big tank off. He did have that 3.1 IMS on there. That's not needed for this weekend on the Hard Enduros. These are pretty short races. There's just multiple races. So thank you guys for following along. This was Jared's TKO makeover. Pretty pumped to be his dealer. He's a great friend of mine. So we'll see you guys at the races. Enjoy the ride.